Hello, everybody.
We're back.
We are back. We're back. We're back.
Back again.
We got a good episode planned for you. First off, we are going to tell you to subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that stuff.
Do all the things.
Do it. Do it all. Do it all.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you a couple more times through this time.
Exactly.
Thing too.
It's Sunday, so you don't have much else to do.
Yeah. But first things first. We went to the Kitchener RV show.
Yes. So this is the first time we would be recording since we also didn't have a live last week. So
Due to our streaming device, our streaming website was down.
Yeah. So we went to this RV show in Kitchener.
And for the size of the place, it was not bad.
It was not bad.
But what a joke. It was an absolute...
The way I look at it, and my opinion would be, is for $10, because the entry fee was $10, for $10, it was okay. Like, I don't know if I'd want to spend $10 again, but if you have nothing to do, and you just want to kind of find something to do that would be cheap, and spend an hour doing it, it would be the place to be. But like I said, the key word is spend an hour doing it, because that place is not going to take you more than an hour to look through it. We showed up at 1.
We went to the Toronto RV show.
Yeah.
And then we went to this one a week later or 2 weeks later.
And we know there's going to be a major difference.
Completely. But what a joke. Like you said, you wouldn't spend $10 again. No. I wouldn't have spent $10 just to even get in. I would have paid $5. I wouldn't have paid $10. I found it wasn't worth $10. To me, it should have been free admission, because it was, to me, it was a nightmare layout. From the minute you walked in.
It was all confusing. Where to go, how to go.
So the layout was, you walked into, so you paid, you got your tickets, which you could not get online.
I think you could have. I just couldn't get them online when I went to get them.
Okay. You might have been able to, but as far as we know, you possibly might not have been able to. So you had to pay right there. We did. And then we walked to the ticket people, who then, instead of saying have a good show, it was directing you like a herd of cows.
Yeah.
Down this hallway, please. Down this hallway. Like, if you had to piss, you're not going, because these people were herding you like cows. And they sent you right into, which I didn't have a problem with it, but it was interesting. They sent you right into, like, where the vendors are selling, like, plaques. They're selling spare parts.
A bunch of trailers, accessories.
Yep. Which wasn't, I'm not saying bad.
I would have put it towards the end of everything. So that, like, they keep you there longer with looking at everything. Because nobody wants to buy something and then have to walk around the show. It's easier to do the opposite.
But then to get into the show, I didn't see an elevator. You guys might have. I did not see an elevator.
I didn't see one. But I'm going to assume there was some way for anybody who has a stroller or anybody in a wheelchair, anything like that.
I'm just saying I didn't see one. And there was only a door to go in and a door to come out. And it was on the same side. And then you had to take 3 stairs to even get out to the arena, one of the arenas that it was in. You could only go out on one side. And then you had to walk to the end. You had to turn left, walk to the end, and then walk down all the stadium stairs, which wasn't a lot, maybe 30 at the most. But you could only go in one way into this show.
Yeah.
And to me, if I'm laying it out If I'm the person that's putting this show off, what they did to me was, I think they drove people away. Lazy Acres was the first thing you walked into. And nothing against Lazy Acres. Like, nothing against them. But the first two trailers that you saw in that RV show were 123 or 223 and 219,000. That was the first two RVs that you saw in the show.
And anybody who doesn't know much about RVs, this is the first time they've been to a show, that can really scare people and be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, for us, it was normal because we've been to RV shows. Like, we've seen the different prices. We know that everyone's there and everyone's looking for something different, right?
Correct.
You're going to have a customer that would potentially buy it. Simple. It's just majority of customers are not looking for a $200,000 trailer.
No, and like, I don't think they should have had them, because you literally came off the stairs of the arena, and you walked on what would be the ice, and the first two trailers that hit you in the face were 219 and 223. I would have, if I never been at an RV show before, I would have turned around and walked right up the stairs, because I would have been, I can't afford shit here.
Well, let's just say, guys, we got to the RV show around 12:30ish.
Around there.
45ish. We'll take into consideration, we did not go through all of the trailers. We had gone with some friends. They walked through a couple trailers that they liked. Other than that, like, we were more just there to get our brand known. So we did some walking around. The event was so small that we were back at the Jeep by 1:30. Maximum.
I think it was less. I think
it was less, but I'm going to say maximum 1:30. We were back in the Jeep leaving.
And we had walked through both sides of the arena, because they had two arenas.
And walked through the merchandise area twice.
Yeah. So we did all that. We didn't go in every trailer,
no.
But we even stopped in sections and had conversation in, like, we have one of their chairs, Como huts.
Yeah.
One of their gazebos. We sat there for about 5 minutes, had a conversation with our friends that came with us. We also spent, like, we had conversations in different parts of the arena.
Yeah, because we were telling them about how, like, the other RV show was and how it was set up and how certain trailers were there too, and we were kind of discussing them.
Yeah, and, like, I'm not saying there wasn't some deals at the Kitchener show.
No, I'm sure there was deals.
There was that one that we were like, oh, wow, that's a deal for a toy hauler tow behind. It was a deal.
I think it was like 60,000 or something.
53,000 show price. Yeah. But if you had more than two people in your family, it was a very non-spacious trailer.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like nice, laid out nice, but laid out weird. That you couldn't fit multiple people. Well, more than two in there. But yeah, there were some deals at the show. But then there was like, nope. Like I said, you're walking in if you're a first timer and the first time you're walking into an RV show and you're walking into $200,000, you're gonna walk out scared.
Yeah.
So
it was definitely interesting. I would honestly suggest, being somebody who knows about trailer shows and about trailers, if you have the time, you're better off to go to the main RV show that you could also get into for $10 on Thursdays and Fridays. Because you're getting a lot more worth your money. You're going to be walking through that for at least a few hours.
The bang for the buck, go to the bigger shows.
Yeah. Now, if you think those would be overwhelming, the small shows may be better for you. We personally like the bigger show, but we also have a lot more knowledge on it. So
yeah, and like, to me, the bigger show, you're going to get a lot better deals too. The smaller show, you're going to get one or two deals.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get to see, like, at the bigger shows, you get to see a lot of their, well, majority of their inventory. But you can also discuss what other inventory they have on their lots. When you go to a small show, you see maybe one, two. I think Lazy Acres at the Toronto show had 86 trailers. At this one, they had 5.
Yeah.
So
well, they didn't have as much room to bring a bunch of trailers. But I will say this, guys. Even if you go to the big show and you see trailers you like, but you're not fully sold on it, or you want to have a couple discussions, just a little tip. It seems like they do the same interest rates at both RV shows.
Oh.
So the same RV show. So when we went to the Toronto RV show, they had a certain interest rate with banks. That same interest rate applied when going to the Kitchener RV show.
Yep.
So even if you find a trailer you like, you want to do your paperwork, or you want to wait and discuss it with your significant other or whatever, do it, and then just go to the Kitchener RV show and sign those papers. So
there were a couple dealerships that were at both shows.
Mm-hmm.
One of the dealerships had a sign up that said, blah, 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 interest rate this, only for this show.
Yeah, but it was there for both shows.
But funny, it was there for both shows, so...
But I guess they can't, they may not be able to guarantee it until like maybe a week before the show or something, right? I know banks can change things up whenever they feel like it.
So that was last weekend.
Yes. So enough with that. I think that's about all we can say about that show because there wasn't much to talk about.
Correct.
But that was last Saturday.
That was the show.
So since then, we worked.
Yeah, we did
We worked. We did our normal weekly duties, minus the live show.
Correct.
You went and did something this week.
I went and saw a dentist about the missing teeth that I have.
Yes.
I have missing teeth due to a medication that I was on in the military, and I'm looking at it to get them fixed.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
That was fun. That took up like almost
4
our
hours.
entire Wednesday. It kind of worked out that the live stream wasn't able to happen because by the time we got home Wednesday from your appointment, we would have pretty much had to go live.
Yeah, and we hadn't eaten or nothing.
Yeah, like we got home, we checked to see if the live stream was back up, and it wasn't. So we were like, okay, fine. We're not going to wrestle with you. We'll take the night off. So we did that.
It was 4 hours of 4 hours of planning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it that way. They didn't even touch my teeth with any tools or anything. It was 4 hours of planning, and we're gonna go from there.
Well, they did do some
hopefully
mouth
soon.
X-rays.
I'm hoping. We're waiting to find out.
We'll find out more this week.
Hopefully soon. I might have some. I might have a new look.
And then on top of that, we also had our niece's dance competition.
Thursday and Friday.
And man, can they dance. We are super proud of them. Like super, super proud of them. I feel bad for all those girls and all those moms / dance dads that have to get up at the crack of dawn to get their children ready. Because dances start at like 7:30, 8 a.m. in the morning and go all day. I couldn't imagine.
We're going to do a video on it later down the road because we saw the good, but we also saw the bad.
Well, and you got to think about it. There is parents out there, unfortunately, that look at their kids like
they're a meal ticket.
They're just a check that could come in. Yep. And that's what they look at. And like, I'm sorry, but your children are not supposed to provide for you. You're supposed to provide for your children.
Now, like I said, we'll talk more about that later. So that was that. Mm-hmm. And then we got to talk about the actual reason we're here today. Mm-hmm. And it's it's one thing that we are going through right now.
Well, speaking of RV shows too, right?
Yep. But before we do that, subscribe, like, comment, and share. But it's one of the things that we are talking about. We are talking right now personally about it because we are looking at for a new trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's creating a big purchase.
Creating?
Or
buying a
having a big purchase.
Having it. No, it would be buying a big purchase.
Creating, buying, doing.
Yeah.
It's any of those
things that
words.
go into it and the struggles you could have.
Yeah, and like we're going to just hit a few points here.
Because let's just start off with everyone buys something in their lifetime that costs a lot of money.
Whether be a truck.
It be a car, a RV, a house. That's one of the biggest payments you'll probably ever make.
A company.
There's so many different ways that you will have to make a big purchase. So we're here to talk about that.
Yep, we're here to talk about it, and it's kind of... We're in the midst of it right now, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're in the midst of it, but it's bound to happen within the next few years either way.
Yeah. First is, I think you need to plan.
You need to make a plan, and I don't mean just like a plan in your head. You need to have a plan for you and a plan on how you guys are actually going to do this, because normally you would have to talk to your spouse about it.
And if you don't have a spouse, you still have, if you're a single person, you still have to come up with, I personally think you have to plan this out.
Yeah.
If it's, and I'm just saying, if it's a trailer, plan on what dealership you kind of want to go through.
Well, for example, like even houses. Most people don't plan to buy a house within 6 months. Most people plan that for at least 2 years because you have to have a down payment, things like that. So this is all part of the planning. Go ahead with the RV show stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Or the RV stuff, yep.
If you're a single person, you're a married couple, doesn't matter. If you're a common law couple, doesn't matter. If you're going to make a big purchase, have a plan on, kind of do your research first and look at what dealership you want to go to, at what dealerships you want to look, or what trailer,
what your price range is.
Pre-plan this, what your price range is. But the second point to that is you need to talk to your significant other if you're common law or married. If you're single, I think you still need to bounce the idea off somebody. So if it's your mom, your dad, your friend,
and be responsible for money, with money too.
Yeah, I think you still need to have a conversation with somebody. But if you're a married couple, common law couple, I think you need to discuss with your significant other. Okay, here's our price range. What do you think? Do you agree with this price range? Do you think we should be lower? Do you think we should be higher?
That's major. That's one of the number one things you need to agree on is a budget, and you stay within that budget, and always make sure you have wiggle room too.
We're going to compare it to RV. What kind of RV do you want? Do you want a toy hauler? Do you want a fifth wheel? Do you want a tow behind? Do you want a Class A? Do you want a pop-up?
Well, at the end of the day, you have to be able to compromise on what both of you want too.
Correct. And we know this, you are a big tow behind person because that's all you've had in your life.
Well, no, I like the fifth wheels. I just think there is normal travel trailers out there, tow behinds, that are just as nice as a fifth wheel.
Yeah, but you'll agree with me. You've grew up your whole life in them.
I've grew up in them, yes.
And I'm not fully saying that you'd prefer a tow behind, but you lean towards the tow behinds, and I lean towards the fifth wheel.
I would say, for me, I don't have a preference on what the trailer on the outside is laid out.
I'm not saying you do.
As long as the layout on the inside is what I'm kind of looking for. I don't actually have a preference on whether it's a fifth wheel, a tow behind, or a toy hauler. Doesn't matter to me.
But we've had multiple conversations. We've compromised with each other on what trailers we actually want, where we want to go with this, what size.
And it took us a while to compromise too. It wasn't something that was like automatically, yes, this is what I want, this is what you want, this is what we can get in a trailer. There was a lot of give and take.
Yeah, and we are already very, I don't want to say famous, but we are already very popular in our, we talk everything through. It doesn't matter if...
It actually weirds people out how often we communicate and what we communicate on. But it works for us.
Like, if I gotta blow my nose...
He might tell me.
I'm gonna tell her.
I really don't want to know about his booger.
But, like, we communicate on everything. Doesn't matter if it's a $2 purchase or if it's a $200,000 purchase. We are communicating on that purchase or anything like that.
I'm not talking to you about my coffee.
I would say talk to your significant other. That's a second big point. And I would say the other one is, and it'd probably be the biggest point of it all, and I think you'll agree with me, is walk and talk with your significant other about what the financing side is going to look like. What is this payment going to be?
What kind of loan do you want? Do you want a 5-year loan? Do you want a 10-year loan? Depending on what you're buying. Yes, cars really run between 5 and 7 years.
5 to 8 years.
Yeah. When it comes to RVs, you can get as long as a 20-year loan. And yes, that might sound great because you'd have such a low payment, but it doesn't always mean that it's the best position for you to be in. Because I will tell you now, most people do not keep a RV for 20 years.
Correct.
Your RV is going to last you between 5 and 10 years, depending on how you take care of it. So to think about having it
15 at the most.
15 at the most, but for the most part, by then things are falling apart. You're ready for a new RV. So that 20-year payment might sound amazing because it's cheaper payment options now, but in the long run, you could be adding that loan onto another loan down the line.
So remember at the beginning, we were talking about $23,000 trailer. Think about it. You get that loan for 20 years. You need a new trailer after, let's say, 15 at the most. You're still looking at about $25,000 that you still need to pay off.
Yeah, RVs will never go up in, like, for example, RVs will never go up in price other than
they'll
during
only depreciate.
COVID was the only time you would maybe get more than what you paid for your trailer. Maybe. But other than that, you will always expect to get less for your trailer. It's not like a house.
But like we're saying, walk and talk through the finance portion of this is probably going to be your biggest, like the biggest aspect. So there's a lot of communicating in this, but I would walk and talk through the finance and make sure that if you can, even call a bank.
Well, I was going to say, get a second opinion too.
Or somebody who is in the financial know of like loans and stuff like that. I'm not saying you have to go through a bank. You could go through something else, mortgage place.
Whatever it is you're buying.
Just make sure that you know where you're going to be in your financial world.
Honestly, a big tip, and I would say this for almost anything, a lot of people do it for houses. And people don't think to do it for like an RV or a car, but go and get pre-approved. It's probably easier to get pre-approved
Possibly.
Because then you might have your budget set, but when you talk to the bank, they may have something different to say. And they may say, you know what, we can only pre-approve you for this much. So that could change everything about what you're thinking, about what you can actually afford. Because you think, oh, I can pay this bill. That's nothing. but you don't think about all the extra stuff that you already pay for, right?
Like the one thing we are talking about now, and we've brought our friends in on the conversation. We've talked finances about it. We're kind of we're talking about two things right now. One is trailer. We're looking at trailers. Mm-hmm. Two is we're talking about changing the setup of our podcast. Mm-hmm. Like right now, we do our podcast and our lives same spot. Yeah. Same spot, same layout, same everything. We are talking about switching those. So our lives are in this kind of setting and our podcasts are in a completely different kind of setting. And we're talking about that. But that comes with money. So we are pretty much...
We're doing like a balancing act right now on what we actually need or want, or what can be done now, what can wait a year maybe.
We are, and it's literally a big purchase for us. It's, do we produce another studio? Do we go into another studio? So like everything is a big purchase. And I would say what we just said is something you guys should do.
Honestly, another thing that I would think to really take into consideration and maybe learn about if you haven't, because it's not something that you're really taught in school unless you take a specific course for it, is things like interest rate. Oh. And like debt to income ratio. Those kind of things are really taken into account when you're going to purchase something bigger. Mm-hmm. And those are things the banks look at. And even if you're not going to go with a bank, you're going to go with a different lender, let's say with a higher interest rate. Whatever works for you, do what you got to do. But just have your options, know your options, and know what you can do and what you can't do.
Correct. I agree with you 100%.
And never come home with a new vehicle unless you've already told your wife you were doing it.
Ben?
No, I'm just saying that I've actually heard a lot of people say that, one day their husband showed up with a new vehicle. And it's like, man, if you ever did that to me, I'd kill you.
Ben? Just throwing you under the bus, Ben.
No.
Ben?
I'm sure he had talked about it previous, but I would definitely kill somebody. I'd kill you.
I can tell you he didn't. Because
he didn't talk to her at all.
We've been told the story multiple times. So he drove by the dealership. The only conversation that they had for this was they drove by the dealership. He looked at the truck. He pointed at the truck that he wanted, and he said, "I'm going to have that tomorrow." She laughed it off and said, "Yeah, whatever, Ben." And the next day, he drove home. He went to the dealership himself. The next day, he drove home with said truck and said, "I've got it," without fully having a conversation. Oh. So,
yeah.
Good on you.
Talk to your wife before you go and buy a vehicle. That's a tip for marriage. If you want your marriage to last.
They've been together 33 years, so...
If you want your marriage to last, I would suggest having that conversation beforehand. Before you... Don't just think you're going to ask for forgiveness.
Hey, they've been together for 33 years.
Yeah.
So...
And I'm sure there's going to be people who argue with me about that statement.
Forgive and forget
be
sometimes.
Like, well, this is my money. I'll do what I want. No, when you're married... You guys should be making those decisions.
His money is your money, and your money is also your money.
Exactly.
I've learned that one.
So,
yeah.
On to our next topic.
Oh,
it's actually not a topic. There's another topic? We are going to be doing a game.
Oh, I'm not ready for this.
It's going to be a trivia game for Sir Bradley over here.
I'm not ready for this.
Because as a military veteran.
Oh, no.
A Canadian military veteran.
Okay.
I would hope, and a Canadian citizen, born in Canada, raised in Canada, I feel as if you should know these questions And I feel as if any Canadian citizen should know these questions.
I'm scared.
But not everybody does. Not everybody knows these answers. So I've made up a list of some questions. I got 15 questions we're going to ask you and 2 bonus questions to see if you can get those right. One is super easy. One might be a little bit harder. We'll start off with some new easy questions, and we will tally up your points at the end and see if we should kick you out of Canada or not.
I have a funny feeling that I'm moving to the States.
Okay, so, and if you guys know these answers, or you want to make fun of him because he should know these answers, comment below. If you have other questions that you want us to answer, you can always message us, and we could do another trivia like this.
Like I said earlier, subscribe on YouTube, like, share, and comment.
So, as a Canadian citizen,
Okay.
and somebody who swore
my allegiance to the Queen and the country.
Yeah. We got a king now, so I'm
At
sure
that
you
time
would
it
do
was
that
Queen.
too. I'm sure you would do that too.
I would do it tomorrow.
Our first question for our Canadian here.
Okay.
How many provinces / territories does Canada have?
3 territories. And those are Nunavut, Nunavut, Yellowknife, and
Nope.
Or Yukon.
You don't have to name them. It's fine. You can just tell
we
us.
have 3, and it's Nunavut, Yukon, and the Northwest Territories.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And
how many provinces do we have, sir?
BC, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, there's 4. Ontario, 5. Quebec, 6. New Brunswick, 7. PEI, 8. Nova Scotia, 10. 11 would be Newfoundland and Labrador. And, well, Cape Breton feels special, so we got 13. No, we have 11. Did I miss a province?
10 provinces, 3 territories. That's all I was looking for.
Did I miss a province? Where did I add a province?
I don't know. BC, Alberta.
BC, Alberta,
Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario,
There's
Quebec.
4. 5 is Ontario. Quebec is
New Brunswick, Nova
6.
Scotia.
New Brunswick, Nova Scotia.
PEI, and Newfoundland and Labrador. You must have counted Newfoundland and then Labrador. I don't know, man. But 10 and 3, 13 altogether.
I named them all, so leave me alone.
We will give you a confused point for that.
I named them all. Leave me alone.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
What was the last province / territory that joined Canada?
None of it.
What year? This is for bonus point.
95? 99?
99. So you only got 1 point.
I knew it was in the 90s, but it was actually, we just watched yesterday the funeral of Brian Mulroney. He is the one who signed the paperwork on it to become a territory.
Okay. Question number 3.
Correct.
What are the 2 languages of Canada?
There should be more than 2 now because, well, we got Brampton, but I would say it is 2. There is only 1 recognized province that is bilingual.
Okay. I just want a simple answer.
French and
English.
English.
Don't need a story.
It's 2. It's
Thank
French
you.
and English.
Thank you.
We only have 1 bilingual province.
You just answer the question that is asked.
I'm trying to get
Thank
bonus
you, sir.
points.
Don't. Next question.
Okay.
Only answer question.
Okay.
He has useless knowledge, guys. This is why we're in this trivia. What is Canada's national sport? Bonus points.
It's hockey. National sport is hockey.
Okay. There could be a bonus point here.
Curling. is the other
Nope.
one.
It's hockey and lacrosse.
I would say I'd say no.
Well, I'm gonna say yes.
No, I'm gonna. If you got these off Google, I'm saying no because there's probably more provinces play curling than they do lacrosse.
I totally understand your point.
Lacrosse would be in the bigger provinces.
I'm simply stating this is something that is in the Canada Act of something. I will provide you proof if you need to see it.
I say curling.
Nope. It is lacrosse, so you only got 1 point there. How many points does the maple leaf on the flag have? Do you want me to make this multiple choice?
9. Unless you're counting the stem. 11.
There is 11 points. And fun fact, it was designed for 13 points. But it was too hard for the shape to become a thing.
And they're counting.
But it is 11 points.
11 is including the stem.
It is 11 points. So I'll give you a half mark for that. Because you said 9.
If they just go with the leaf, no stem, it's 9.
Number 6.
Okay.
Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada?
Sir John A. Macdonald.
Wow, look at you go.
There's been 18, or no.
It's okay.
As of the burial yesterday, he was the 18th, and there's been like 6 since. Go ahead.
Question number 7.
Yeah.
Which city is home to North America's largest mall?
Edmonton.
Yep.
West Edmonton Mall.
Yep. Look at you go. Number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Which Canadian chain first opened in Hamilton in 1964? I gave you this question because I know you have useless knowledge about these things.
So, he played for the Detroit Red Wings. He also played with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I do believe he won a Stanley Cup with both.
On to the next question.
And it would be Tim Hortons.
Yes, Tim Hortons. Number 9. What is Canada's oldest city?
Quebec City.
Nope. I thought you were going to get this one.
Quebec City would be... we're going by Canada, correct?
The question is, what is Canada's oldest city?
That one's a tough one. Because the first landed ground is Newfoundland. But it didn't become a province until 1945.
Okay, but what city was it?
Bonavista. It wasn't even a city. It was Bonavista, but St. John's would be the oldest city because Newfoundland only has one city, and that would be St. John's. But Quebec City says they are and you can find this online, Quebec City says they are the oldest city in North America.
Established in 1497, St. John's, Newfoundland is the oldest city in Canada. The next established city was Quebec City.
Yeah, they're basing...
So it is St. John's, Newfoundland.
They're basing it off not when the province joined.
Yeah, based on the actual city
Correct.
itself. So yes.
St. John's, Newfoundland
I will give you the marks for that one. I was really hoping you would get that one right away, seeing that you are from Newfoundland.
I did get it, but...
You did. But you were questioning.
No, because Quebec City says they are the oldest.
We've actually
because they
had
are
this
not,
argument before as well.
Yeah, Quebec City says they're the oldest because Newfoundland did not join Canada
until
1945, and Quebec had
I thought
already
it was 41,
45.
41.
45.
Number 10.
1949.
Thank you.
You said 41.
I said 41 and then I said 49.
Oh, it's 41. 49. It's one of those
I
years.
know. It is 19...
It's in the 40s.
Newfoundland joined Canada in 1949.
49. Yeah. It's 49.
Okay. Number 10. How many time zones does Canada have?
Ooh. Newfoundland. Atlantic. Eastern Standard Time, which we were in. Manitoba does not have a time.
They would have a time zone.
Are they in Central? And then Pacific. Am I missing one? 6.
There is 6. You only named 5. But yes, there is 6. So I will give you that. Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern,
I knew I was missing one.
Atlantic, and Newfoundland. A lot of people don't get that one because of Newfoundland. They forget
I knew I
Newfoundland
was
has its own
missing
time
one.
zone. Yes.
And it was the other direction.
Yes.
Manitoba does not.
They do have a time zone. It's just central. They just don't have time change.
No. Every other province changes time. Manitoba does not.
Yeah, that's time change, not time zone.
Correct. Sorry.
11. What one province in Canada is the official bilingual
New Brunswick.
province? A lot of people would say Quebec.
It is not
Quebec.
Quebec.
It is not Quebec. Quebec is just French. It's only New Brunswick that does English and French. Français. How many words can you say in French?
Bonjour, comment ça va? Ça va bien.
And that is our French lessons for the day.
Oh, why?
12.
Okay, yeah.
How many oceans border Canada? This one's simple.
3.
Can you name them?
Arctic, Pacific, Atlantic.
Perfect. Question 13. In which province can you find a provincial park? Let me do the whole question before you start jumping for joy. Which province can you find a provincial park named Blow Me Down and the cities of Goobies and Come By Chance?
That would be my home province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Correct. There is, if you guys want, go look at the map of just Newfoundland itself. Labrador's off a little bit. Newfoundland itself. There's some interesting names there.
There's a provincial called Blow Me Down, a provincial park. There's also a provincial park called Dildo Run.
Yeah, the names there can be quite interesting. So I'll let people take a look for themselves.
Joe Bat's Arm. Yeah.
Interesting men who came up with these names.
Yes.
Question number 14.
Okay.
80% of the world's supply of what comes from Canada? Think of Canadian.
That one's tough because
I will give you a hint. It is a food product. It's something Canada would be known for. 80% of the world's supply.
That one's tough, but I'm going to go with potato.
No.
Oh, okay.
Something Canada is really known for.
And it's
and
a food product.
You love it.
It's a food product?
Yeah. It sits in the fridge. Some people like to keep it in their pantry. I keep it in the fridge. You put this shit on everything.
Maple syrup.
Yep. You know, maple leaf, maple tree.
It's maple syrup.
I can't believe you got that one wrong.
But we would be up there in diamonds.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot
oil,
of stuff. Yeah.
Iron ore.
But 80% of the world's supply comes from here. And that's maple syrup, guys. Maple syrup. Have you ever seen maple syrup actually coming out of the tree?
Yes. I've never seen a farm, though.
It's crazy interesting. I guess, I don't know.
I've never seen a maple syrup farm.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay, question number 15.
Okay.
We got 2 bonus questions after this.
I know.
How old is Canada turning this year?
Oh, shit.
A couple of years ago, we celebrated a big birthday.
When I was in the military, my unit celebrated 125 years. Canada was older than that because we wouldn't be considered Canadian, Royal Canadian Dragoons unless Canada had the designation. I'm going to say we're close to...
I can maybe make this one multiple choice.
1-6.
Let me make this multiple choice. Okay.
Might be easier.
So we'll do 3. We'll do A, B, and C. A, 167 years. B, 156 years. And C, 136 years. And remember.
I'm going to go with B, 156.
And you are correct.
And the only reason I go with that is I know they are like 20 years older, 10 years older than my unit. So
156 years old. Just a couple years ago, we celebrated 150
There are a couple
years.
military units that are out there that are older than Canada themselves.
We became a country in 1867. Our bonus questions.
Okay.
Oh, let me make sure I mark you for that one. Okay, these ones are fun ones. Ish. Okay, so we'll start with the really, really easy one. And I really hope you can get this one because a lot of people don't know this one. What is the capital city of Canada?
So many people say it's Toronto. But the capital city of Canada is Ottawa. It used to be Kingston, Ontario, but it is Ottawa, Ontario.
Good job. I'm so proud of you. What is the capital of Ontario?
That would be Toronto.
Yes. Okay. And our final question of the day. What Canadian city is considered Hollywood North?
Ooh.
This one's a little tricky.
Yeah.
Because there is one that people think it is, but the original one is maybe different.
It could be a few because there are a lot of shows filmed out in BC now. So you could say Vancouver. You can also say Toronto. A lot of TV shows are filmed in Toronto. And then you have the TIFF yearly here. But then there's also Montreal, which is like one of the originals.
Hollywood North.
I'm going to go with Hollywood North would be Montreal. I'm wrong. Would it be Toronto?
The original is Vancouver. Because that's where it first was originated from. A lot of people do consider Toronto as well one of Hollywood North as well. But Vancouver was the original one.
I was right when I was
You
breaking
were right
it.
when you were breaking it down, and you gave the wrong answer. Tisk, man. How do you think you did?
I probably got about... Well, I know I got them all right, but I didn't give the right answers right away. But I knew the answers. I would say I probably got 10. I got 10 right off the hop.
Let's start. We will count them. Remember, there was a half point here. 1, 2, 3.5. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15 questions. But remember, you did get a couple bonus points there as well.
Okay.
So 15 points.
That's good.
Pretty good. I will be coming at you with more questions. If you ever want to do Canada trivia with me, I would be totally down for that. Just nothing about history, because I'm not really good at history. I'm better at geography than history. Like, you want me to sit here and name all of the provinces and their capital cities? I can do that. You want me to color in none of it? I am not doing that.
So, guys, she does this a lot to me.
Yes.
Even when we're not on live.
Yeah.
Due to, as you say, I have a lot of useless knowledge in my brain.
You do.
Normally, I'll wake up, go start work. She'll wake up a couple hours later. And normally she has a trivia question lined up for me. I do believe last week's was...
It had something to do with mortgages.
Nope.
Or housing unit. It was...
that was last week's. The week before was hockey.
We've done some sports questions. I've had some sports questions. I do it for fun. It gets his brain working. So it's a fun thing we do. Canada was an interesting one. I don't know if Canada will have you as one of our own. We may send you to the States. Yes.
Possibly. Why she does that, guys, is my father was diagnosed with...
Oh, I do not do it for that reason.
Oh, possibly.
No. I just do it because it's fun.
My father was diagnosed with dementia at a very young age. So to keep my brain sharp and tack...
You do that on your own. Yeah. I really don't have to help you do that. It is fun to see how much knowledge he does have that day. So
I'm usually pretty good.
Or maybe for now, Canada might keep you, but we'll see the next time we do a Canada
I think I did
trivia.
pretty good. I think
you did pretty good. You did pretty good. Mm-hmm.
But we've got to shut it down for right now.
If you have other questions about Canada you want him to answer, let us know. If you disagree with any of those answers, you can take that up with Canada.
Canada.ca.
You can take that up with Canada. I was actually Googling stuff about actual citizenship questions. And I read some of those and I was like, I wouldn't even be able to answer them. And it was a good thing I was born here.
But the funny thing is, with all those questions, some of those we want to hit in a video because we don't agree with some things.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I just said.
And we agree.
It's a good thing I was born in Canada because I don't know if I would have been able to be a citizen. Gone and did my citizenship test. I don't think I would have passed the first, second, or third time.
One of the things that we can hint out at it would be the Sir John A. Macdonald was the first Prime Minister of Canada. We all know that. We can't dispute it, blah, blah, blah. But there are things that are coming out about him that
people have other things to say.
People have done less and have been stricken from the history books. Mm-hmm. So, what makes him different?
Yeah, that would be an interesting video. So, till next time, goodbye to all our Canadians.
Bye, Newfoundland and Labrador.